All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, the Golden State Warriors have claimed four NBA titles in the last 8 years. And coming into this season, they were expected to make another run at getting a championship. But through 15 games this season, the Warriors are only 6-9 as the flash and sizzle that has been associated with this team has been pushed away to make way for frustration, confusion, and doubt. Now, pre-injuries for the Warriors in the 2019 NBA Finals, this team was known for dictating the pace and wowing their opponents and fans alike by their basically the way that they just changed the game for three-point shooting as well as selfless basketball. However, age and the league have been catching up to the Warriors, but they're also lacking currently one of their hallmarks from the championship years, which is their defense. Now, in recent years, Golden State has been one of the better defensive clubs in the NBA, but so far this season, only the San Antonio Spurs are surrendering more points per game than the Dubs, as they're allowing more than 118 points per contest. And you think about it, I mean, they lost Gary Payton II in free agency. He was a solid perimeter defender. He's now a member of the Portland Trailblazers. And age on this team, Andre Iguodala, he's going to be 39 years of age in January. This is the last year for him in the NBA. And of course, he's not the player that he was in the years past. And he's really not playing for the Warriors. He really didn't play a lot last year either. But then, Draymond Green, he's 32 years of age. Klay Thompson's 32. Steph Curry is 34. And at the end of the day, as good as things have been for the Warriors, nothing lasts forever. I mean, this group, they've been together now for about 10 years and they've accomplished some tremendous things. And the bottom line is Father Time is undefeated. That's the way it goes. But, with that said, is it time for Draymond and Clay to come off of the bench? It's a possibility. I mean, you're talking about two guys who have been so integral to the Warriors' success. Not saying that they can no longer get it done, but at this point, you know what? It's worth thinking about and possibly tinkering with the formula to this lineup if you're Steve Kerr to try to get something going. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Warriors, are going to be doing in the coming weeks to figure this out. You think about it, the young Warriors. I mean, you got Jordan Poole, you got Jonathan Kaminga, you have James Wiseman, who was actually sent down to the G League to get some more reps. So, I mean, what's going to come of it? CJ, how are you doing? How's everything going, man? It's funny that you're on here because I did see your recent tweets. It seems like you've been burning the midnight oil, so I hope everything's okay, man. Working a lot, man. Yeah, the Warriors, definitely in the NBA. I got something for you. Probably tomorrow in regards to some baseball stuff that I definitely know that you're going to be interested in. Probably like at some point in the evening, I'll send you a message on Twitter about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I definitely want your insight on it. But with these Warriors, man, Andrew Wiggins is a glue guy. I think going forward in the next couple of years for the Dubs. You still got Steph Curry, filling it up at a very high level. I mean, Steph went for 50 last night. He's averaging more than 30 a game, 32 a game rather, um, this season for the Dubs. So, the thing is, it's 15 games into the season. And obviously, it's not time to panic. But, I think there are some people who expected the Warriors to get on one of those quote unquote vintage runs like we saw in years past. These guys are older now. The NBA has caught up to them. And at the end of the day, you have other teams who can also knock down the 3-point shot. I mean, granted, Golden State is still attempting more than 41 a game, which is tops in the NBA. They're making more than 15 a game, which is second in the NBA. But the bottom line is the dynamic has changed. And when you change the game, now you have to find a way to adjust and adapt your game. Maybe the Warriors think about slowing things down a little bit more on their offensive sets. Maybe not so much wide open basketball. I don't know. But I mean, something has to be done in order to reverse the tide for what we've seen from these dubs. And I think it starts at the defensive end of the floor. Defensive basketball is a mindset. Defensive basketball is a mentality. You have to dig in your heels and do something about it. And at the end of the day, you can't just go out there and try to score 125 points a game in order to win, because you have to basically do that now if you're the Warriors, because you're giving up 118 points. So it's going to be interesting to see how this team progresses as the season goes along. They're 6-9 right now. They've won 3 out of their last 5, but obviously they still have some work ahead of them. They host the Knicks tomorrow night. They're on the road against the Rockets on Sunday, and then they're at New Orleans on Monday night. So if you are the Warriors, first things first, you want to try to get back to 500 between now and the end of this month and try to build off of that as the season progresses, and just chop away and chop away and chop away. And of course, if you're hopeful, get into that rhythm heading into the postseason. So it's not the start that the Golden State Warriors envision, but hopefully they could turn things around, because maybe this is the final run for this crew. We don't know. I mean, Draymond has a player option for next year. Is anybody going to pay him the money that he's hoping to get? I doubt it. Klay Thompson is signed through 2024, and age and injuries, maybe they're catching up to him as well. I don't know. But the bottom line is the Warriors definitely have to figure this out and get out of this rut. I mean, there's a lot of veteran presence in this locker room. It's gut check time. There are going to be some people that are going to say, hey, maybe the Jordan Poole Draymond incident is carrying over with this team. I don't know. I don't have any insider information on that. But the bottom line is, what I can tell you is that the Dubs have to start playing better, especially at the defensive end, and try to get this thing turned around in order for them to go where they are hopeful to go. Again, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. But the Warriors have put themselves in a slight hole, and let's see if they could turn this thing around. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take the time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out. Drop a line to be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. CJ, as always, thanks for chiming in. I appreciate the comments. And like I said, I am working on something. Hopefully, I put it up tomorrow, if not Saturday, some baseball stuff. And I definitely, what I'll do is I'll reach out to you. I'll tweet you before I start, give you an idea when I'm going to go on. And this way, you can definitely chime in, because I'm sure you're going to have plenty to chat and discuss, excuse me, about what I'm going to talk about. So definitely look for it. And as always, it's a pleasure. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. I'm signing off, saying take care. And thanks once again for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube.